Okay, so imagine this. You've got exactly 1 minute, 60 seconds, a photo pops up on your screen, and the instruction is super simple. Describe what you see. Seems pretty straightforward, right? But what if getting really good at that single minute could actually unlock, a whole new level of fluency? In this deep dive, we're really getting into one specific task from Duolingo. It's task 6, write about the photo. We've been digging into the official guide for this, and basically our mission today is to pull out the most important stuff. We want to show you how to, well, really ace it, even with that clock ticking down. And there's this surprising detail about how many sentences you should actually be aiming for. It's quite interesting.
It really is. What's fascinating, I think, is how Duolingo layers this seemingly simple task. The core idea, what you actually do, is just like you said,
Mhm.
look at a photo, describe what's there. It's about showing you can observe and use your vocabulary, but crucially, under pressure.
And that pressure is definitely real. I mean, 1 minute, exactly 1 minute for the whole task. It's a sprint. Every single second counts. So, okay, photo pops up, clock starts. What's the absolute first thing the guide says you have to do?
Right. The foundational strategy, and this is like really key, start strong. Your very first sentence, it must describe or state the main thing, the main object in that photo. It's not just about pointing something out. It signals immediately, okay, I get the main subject, and it sort of sets the stage for everything else you write.
Okay, so you nail that first sentence, get the main subject down. But here's where it gets a little counterintuitive, maybe. The instructions often just say write one sentence. You'd think, okay, one and done, easy. But the guide suggests, well, something different for getting those higher scores.
Exactly. And that's the crucial insight, isn't it?
Right.
Why write more if they ask for one? The guide is really clear on this. Even if the directions say one sentence, if you have time, and you often do have a little bit, you should actively try to write more. It specifically suggests aiming for 2, maybe even 3 sentences to get a higher score. It's about showing more range, basically.
Wow. Okay. That's a bit of a game changer then. It's not just about speed, but strategic depth within that speed. So if you've got maybe 20, 30 seconds left after that first sentence, how does the guide suggest structuring those extra details? Is there a method?
Yeah, there is, and it's pretty effective. So first, like we said, that general description, your topic sentence, nailed it. Then the guide suggests adding a sentence specifically about the foreground. And it actually recommends using that word foreground to describe what's, in front.
Foreground. Okay. So main object, then zoom in on what's closest. Makes sense. And after the foreground, is there a next logical step?
You got it. The next step is a sentence about the background. Again, using the word background, ideally, to talk about what's behind the main subject. So you get this nice structure, general view, then foreground detail, then background detail. It helps organize your thoughts really quickly.
That sounds like a solid plan, but what if, under pressure, someone struggles to quickly pick out foreground and background? Does the guide offer like an alternative way to add detail?
It does, which is great for flexibility.
Hmm.
As another option, or maybe even something you add on top of that structure, you can write about how the picture makes you feel. Or maybe you offer a quick interpretation of what's happening. It lets you bring in a slightly different angle, maybe show off some different vocabulary too.
Okay, let's make this super concrete. The guide has examples, right? I remember seeing one about a cow in a field. The basic sentence is just, this is an image of a cow in a field. Simple enough.
Exactly. Simple start. But then to add those layers for a better score, it might add, in the background, I can see 2 or 3 other cows.
Yeah.
See? Using that background point. And maybe another detail like, the cow is standing on green grass. Suddenly, you've gone from one simple fact to a much richer description, and it's still totally doable in under a minute.
Right, that really shows the layering effect. Okay, and there was another good one, the woman and boy on a boat. The guide actually shows 2 ways to tackle that one. The first way uses that structure we talked about. The image shows a woman and a boy on a boat. That's the start. Then in the foreground, I see the boy is sitting on the woman's lap. And then in the background, I can see 2 or 3 islands and the stirred up water behind the boat.
Spot on. That perfectly shows the general foreground-background method. It's clear, structured, observes different parts of the image. It's almost like they want you to be a quick visual storyteller, not just list things.
A quick visual storyteller, I like that. Okay, but for that same boat picture, there's the other approach too, right? The feeling or interpretation one. It goes something like, the image shows a woman and a boy on a boat. Same start, but then it adds, they look to be a mother and son as the boy is sitting in the mother's lap. That's an interpretation. And finishes with, they look happy on the water together. That's more about the feeling or mood.
Precisely. It starts general, but then moves into observation and feeling rather than just spatial description. Both valid ways to add that crucial extra detail. And connecting this back, to the main point. Well, one sentence is acceptable, you won't fail for just one. It's that second, maybe third sentence squeezed into that minute. That's what really pushes your score higher. It's about using every second you can to show more of what you know.
So, wrapping this all up for everyone listening, what's the big takeaway? This deep dive shows that, yeah, clarity is key for write about the photo, be concise, but the real secret sauce seems to be strategic expansion. Using those extra seconds, you might have to add details, foreground, background, maybe even how it feels. That's how you unlock a higher score. It's really about maximizing what you can show in a very short time. It turns a simple description into, well, a mini demonstration of your language skills.
Absolutely. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? This task seems so simple on the surface. Quick observation,
Yeah.
structured writing under pressure. But how might that reflect, broader communication skills, the ability to get complex ideas across efficiently, maybe in any field? What really strikes you about the power of giving information precisely, but also in layers, especially when time is tight? Something to think about.